What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Mindcrack server. Holy crap, I don't know why, but I am still extremely exhausted from this Play On Con trip that I just came back from. And I don't know what it is. I just feel like no matter how much no matter how many hours I get of sleep, it doesn't feel like I get enough. And I don't know if I'm like the only one feel like I was talking with Good, and he said he feels extremely exhausted, and I'm wondering if it's just, I don't know what the hell it is, but I'm tired. I don't want to do anything, and the worst thing is I know this week is going to be extremely ridiculous because I am currently recording quite a bit, because I'm pretty sure like a lot of you guys obviously listen. At least I hope you guys listen. But I'm actually going away for a trip on Saturday to go out and take a look at BC and visit a friend out there. So a little bit of a creeper explosion over here, which is lovely. Let me just quickly grab all this. But yes, I said this week I'd probably be talking a bit about my adventures at Play On Con. I don't even know where to start. I know a lot of you guys are probably aware of what's going on. And what I mean by that is I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have seen the videos that Good has been putting out. There's the table flipping, which was badass. I wish I could have taken part in it. I was just extremely exhausted. I guess that's like more my fault. I was extremely hungover, not exhausted that day, and I just was not up to throwing or trying to flip a table around when I was feeling slightly nauseous, so I didn't partake in that. But later on in the evening, the same night where the table flipping took place, there was an 18+ hypnotist show. Yeah, I think this is just gonna come out one more. But, yes, there was an 18+ show. I'm pretty sure some of you guys have seen it, and I'm going to talk about that this episode because it was extremely embarrassing, but at the same time, what happened was insanely cool. Okay, so let's just get this started. First off, I've never been, like, fully... I guess I'm more skeptical than anything else, so... when he said, because typically at these shows, a lot of people are like, okay, so I want you guys to raise your hand and I'm going to choose a couple audience members to come up. And, typically when that happens, I've never been chosen, at least. So this one was a little bit different. He said, for anyone who wants to come up, there's a couple chairs up here, so come have a seat and then we'll get the show started. And it started off... there was just me, Generic B, and Morgan there. Like, we were the first ones to go up, and then a couple more people came up. There's a really rowdy drunk guy who was riding Good at the end there, and I went up and I was like, I'm kind of worried because I've never done anything on this type of level before, and so I was a little bit worried because maybe hypnotists can be dicks and they can manipulate you to do something that you just don't want to do. And I don't know why, but that was like one of the things I was absolutely freaked out about. So I went up. I went up with an open mind as well because I don't know, it's hard to explain why I did, but it's just one of those things that you feel that you need to do because of course, I went up skeptical, but at the same time, you do need to keep an open mind with things like this. So, I went up with the full intention of, trying it out and not really trying to like piss off the guy or anything and call him out and call him a liar or anything. But, went up and he started talking to us and, telling us what's going to be happening. And we were all aware that it was an 18+ show. Wasn't aware there was going to be like a strip tease dance, but, he was telling us what's going to be happening. You may feel this and that. And, along came the show and he started saying that, or he just started talking and, telling us to just you know, there's going to be background noise. Don't focus on that. Just focus on my voice. If you hear the, you know, like the audience or anything, just pretend it's the background. It's not really there. And just to keep all your attention on the guy. And, you know, he was doing the whole, you know, he's counting down from 10, telling you, you know, you're feeling lighter here, blah, blah, blah. You're starting to feel it. You're starting to feel a little bit more relaxed in your head than your chest, and then your head and everything. And the weird thing was, I was like, do I not have any iron? Okay, we're gonna go get iron. And, you know, I was kind of like noticing, I was getting really, really relaxed. And I never really, like, my eyes became really heavy. And the weird thing that I realized what was happening was, like, it looked like the light, like, around my eyes, they were like kind of like slowly fading in and out, and they were like going like really dark and everything. And, you know, there's one point where I kind of like moved my eyes a little bit, then I kind of shot back into reality, I guess. But I quickly started focusing on his voice and everything, and then I started noticing the lights doing that again. And soon enough, he basically came up and just snapped his fingers, and I fell over, and I was like right at the edge too, so I was the first one to go under. And the weird thing about this was, you know, okay, we're just gonna get an eye. We're just gonna get a diamond shovel, and I'm not gonna, I feel so, oh, you know what, there's this, I'm waiting. It's like literally August 1st. It's late at night, and this is coming out right away here. But yeah, it was weird because, you know, I can hear everything. I can hear the audience. I felt, you know, like it was me, but I just subconsciously I couldn't, or like physically I couldn't open my eyes or anything. And, you know, sooner or later he started talking and saying, on the count of 3, you're gonna wake up. He snapped his fingers. I woke up. Everyone else woke up. And, you know, he basically started making us sniff the other person, saying that our senses were increased. And it was extremely weird because, I mean, I was sniffing this guy's hair, and it was so awkward. And I mean, like, it's just, I know, like, part of it, you know, you have to be willing to do this. And I guess I never really was aware that this would be happening. I wasn't aware that I'd be sniffing some guy's hair thinking that it smelled good. And he came up to me and he's like, so what do you think of that smell? And I was like, it's freaking awesome. I don't know if the first part was recorded or not, but if it is, I'm pretty sure it's out there. The entire thing was out, like, recorded. And, you know, sooner enough, Generic B came up, and he basically said that, you know, that to show this teddy bear a good time. And, you know, Generic B was saying that what the teddy bear was doing was completely incorrect. So he basically started saying that, fine then, if he's doing this wrong, you have to show him what to do. So Generic B took the teddy bear and showed the teddy bear how to masturbate. And, you know, the guy said the teddy bear was a male. And the girl there, Morgan, she was like, it was weird because, like, typically with this type of stuff, I'd actually be laughing, but I couldn't. I just was staring. God damn it. I was just staring into space, it seemed, and there was nothing I could do. I couldn't laugh. I couldn't react in any way, shape, or form, and it was just so strange and surreal. And, you know, I don't know the best way to explain it. Like, honestly, it's such a weird thing to explain, like, the feeling and everything. And I mean, I guess for me, the best way to explain it is to be like, you know, there is subconsciously, you know what's going on, you know what you're doing, but you can't stop yourself from doing it. And I mean, that's where a lot of people are saying that's why, you know, I guess I was a good subject, because that's what the guy said, is because I was so willing to kind of go along with what the guy wanted and everything. And it was just weird. And here's where it gets a bit awkward, and it's going to get a little bit awkward for some of the subscribers as well, because, well, it's just an awkward subject. And I guess one of the things he made us do was he made us orgasm on stage, and it's, of course, it's not like a legitimate speed of orgasms. Hey, Michael. But like, you know, it was a bit weird. Like, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be footage of it, and I'm not. I saw the dancing one, and I can't even bring myself to watch it with how embarrassed I feel about it. But, I guess he made it so, like, whenever he pressed our wrist or shook our hand or something like that, he would make us think we were having an orgasm and all this, and I couldn't help myself, and I was saying some weird stuff up on stage, and it was just weird. It was a weird experience. Now, here's the weird thing is I want to get hypnotized again, but what I want to do is I want to try and do it in like a little different state where I'm not, you know, up there for entertainment value. I'd actually want to do it, and you know, just maybe for, I don't know why I'd want to do it. I don't know, like, I just want to try and do it on a different level, and it's just such a weird thing. And the weirdest part was, you know, obviously my dancing, that was extremely awkward, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people were saying I was a good dancer, and people were saying, oh, I know what your old job was, and blah 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 blah, and I still can't bring myself to watch it. And okay, I do have enough gravel, I think. Oh god, I probably don't. I'm gonna go back, and I'm like focusing on the stories too much to pay attention to what I'm building. But at the end, he said that, you know, with the whole button thing on our wrist, that we would not remember it. And, you know, Lucklin came up, and a couple of the other guys, they came up and started pressing on the wrist, and I knew what it was, but for some reason I was like, I don't know, like, why are you guys doing this? Why do you keep pressing it? And that's all that came out of my mouth. But I knew in the back that why they were doing it, and I just had to say I don't remember. So I went up to the hypnotist, and he's like, okay, so I'm gonna make you remember. He puts me out, and I remember everything, like literally everything about the entire thing, like small minute details, like about like certain people doing certain things, like in the audience, and just weird stuff like that. And that's what I thought was really weird. And I guess another weird one would be, you know, I was supposed to say my name, and every single time that, well, I guess I should tell another part of this story was, do I have gravel? I don't have gravel anywhere. Was Morgan, she was hypnotized to make her think that he basically made her forget the number 6. So whenever he made her count her fingers, so it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and I kept pointing to her thumb. I was like, no, that one is 6, and I don't know why. And I remember everyone laughing and everything, and the guy called me Mr. Helpful, and so what he said for being so helpful, he's gonna make me forget my last name. So basically, he put me under, and I was like, it felt like I was asleep but standing up, but I had super control of my legs, so I would not fall over, and I guess that's one of the things he was doing. And I remember while he was saying stuff, he was like, okay, so right now he's gonna make me forget how to say my last name, and when I'm gonna be saying, when I go to say my last name, my tongue is gonna like tighten up. And while he was saying that, I could feel my tongue like tighten up while I was while I was hypnotized, while I was under the sleeping state, I guess is what you'd call it. And so whenever I tried to say my last name, I was like, Alex, and I just could not say it. And then so he made me completely forget it. And the third one was, whenever I tried to say my last name, I would actually say my last name, but he said whenever I said it, I would think that a bug was biting my genitals. So when I said it, like my legs twitched up, and I remember that part, and I remember thinking how hilarious it was, but I couldn't laugh or anything. And so, you know, he made me do that, and sooner enough, he made me remember it. And I talked to I keep forgetting everything, don't I? I forgot to grab iron. I need iron. This is just such a bad video. It's because I'm so busy. I'm catching up. I'm making. There's gonna be a lot of missing videos next week, and I do apologize, guys, because, you know, coming back from PlayOnCon, I'm just exhausted. But yeah, it was such a surreal thing. And, you know, after we all came out of like the hypnotized state, we were all, he told us that we would feel extremely energized, and I honestly did. I've never felt that more energized. It was like a super nap. Like even with my naps, I wake up feeling like this, but this one I felt like, and this is like the very last night, so I didn't go to bed at all because of how like energetic I felt. I didn't want to like sleep in, so I just went in my bed. I kind of laid down for a couple hours, and then I left Birmingham. But another weird thing was at the end when we were all talking, I was like kind of recalling my experiences with the guys there. One of the things was I told them, I was like, I felt energetic, but at the same time I felt so weird that what was happening actually happened, and I had no control. I'm pretty sure willingly I had enough mind control to stop myself. If I go in again, like, this is why I want to experience like it again, and I want to see whether or not I could snap myself out of it or something. But one of the weirdest things was I felt very, like, almost kind of very panicky. Like I felt kind of nervous about everything. So, you know, I saw the guy in the bar and I was like, okay, so I don't really feel comfortable right now. How long does that typically last for? So he asked me, he's like, so what do you feel like right now? And I told him, I was like, I just don't feel comfortable. I feel a little bit strange. Like, I don't know. It was a weird thing to feel, just because, you know, I was overthinking everything. And I was like, so what if I like start thinking about this while I'm sleeping, and, you know, maybe I have like some sort of mental breakdown or something like that. And I was like kind of overanalyzing and freaking out. So he basically put me back in a hypnotized state. Like, this was like about an hour later in a bar while there's people there, and just instantly I just remember him snapping his fingers and he calmed me down. And for the rest of the night I never worried about anything, and I don't even worry about it right now, which is I find a bit weird. This stupid water. So bad. So yeah, like, I don't know, I really want to try and get hypnotized again, you know. This time maybe not on an 18+ show, but I don't know, I thought everything was extremely cool. It was definitely an experience. And I mean, right now I guess I can be called what I guess would be called like a believer in this, I guess. And I don't know, like I said, I just really want to experience it again, and I just want to see what it's like as kind of like a novice, I guess, not because I'm no longer an amateur, right? So I just kind of, I want to see if I can like manipulate myself to do something, or, you know, snap out of it or anything. Because I know Generic B said it was a little bit of a different experience because he went and did a different type of a hypnotist thing, and, you know, and that's just why I want to try it. So I don't know. It was an extremely cool thing to experience, and I hope that some of the footage does go up. I mean, I am going to be extremely embarrassed, but there are some aspects I want to see, because, I mean, even Good himself was like, I told him, I was like, you know, I wouldn't. One of the things I said was, you know, I find that stuff funny, like where Generic B was making a bear masturbate. Typically, I would laugh my ass off at that, but I was just staring dead in space, and he said he even noticed that. And I guess one of the things he realized that made him think that I wasn't faking was he came up and licked my ear, and I didn't even realize that. And I don't know, it was extremely weird, and like I said, I'm just excited to check out and see what videos come out of it. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the orgasm parts of being on YouTube, because that was a bit weird, even for me to like I don't know, just kind of recollect those thoughts and just kind of be, it's kind of fucked up. But I don't know. Anyways, guys, I still have lots more to talk about PlayOnCon. I do apologize. I know this week is not going to be that interesting, but, you know, it was honestly like the time of my life out there. I've never had that much fun, so I feel like, you know, talking about this in just one video would not do it justice. So I'm going to come back. When I come back, it's going to be 1.3, and things are going to be awesome, and I think I might go explore because, well, pyramids and jungles dungeons are coming out, so I'm excited for that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if there's any people out there who watch like any hypnotist, or, you know, at any hypnotist, or, you know, even been like hypnotized themselves, maybe leave a comment below, like share your experience. I'd love to read about that, because I mean, That's the cool thing about the internet, is a lot of people have experienced everything, right? So I'd love to read some stuff, so hope some of you guys can comment on that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I shall talk to you guys later. Peace out, Girl Scouts.